So two new stars are being implicated in possibly restoring the Snyderverse, Jared Leto and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Let's get into it. Editor Chris here. I just saw a tweet from Grace Randolph saying that Warner Brothers did indeed remove the trending section from HBO Max when the Snyder Cut came out. She says it's super shady, and I couldn't agree more. It's like the things that they're doing, they're just blatant with it. Like, they're so obviously against this thing succeeding. Obviously, this would be done in an effort to prevent people from realizing and understanding the gravity of the success of the Snyder Cut, because we all know very well, maybe outside of today's release of Godzilla vs. Kong, Snyder Cut is still trending, probably at #1. What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to We Sibs, West Coast, East Coast siblings, where we break down your favorite movies and TV shows. So yesterday, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson was featured in an article explaining how he has a lot of pull right now at DC with the new Black Adam movie, which is set to come out next year, saying that he had designed the movie with Zack Snyder's Justice League and the Zack Snyder Snyderverse in mind when he had crafted the story of Black Adam, etc. We also have a version of the JLA coming in the Black Adam movie, and he wanted to do a versus with them as well as with the Justice League, like we saw in Zack Snyder's Justice League. So basically what the article is saying is that if Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson really pulls heavily and says, look, I'm not doing this movie without Zack Snyder's Justice League, then he would essentially have more pull than the executives over at Warner. Right now, there's basically a war between Warner Brothers Pictures and HBO Max, all being watched and observed by AT&T. Now, this is no small actor. You all know who Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is, and just a couple years ago, he was the highest paid actor in Hollywood. And seeing as he has complete and total creative control over the Black Adam movie, he has the right to say, hey, I want to team up with Henry Cavill. We all know that famous picture of Henry Cavill and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson sitting at a table, probably having lunch or whatever, and the internet went wild just at the idea, salivating over the idea that we could see Henry Cavill's Superman face off against Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's Black Adam. So that's something that the fans have obviously wanted, and The Rock has been working on this movie for years now. Very similar to how Ryan Reynolds kind of owned and was working on the Deadpool franchise, really making it his own, and it was very close to his heart at the time. I would imagine he would be working very closely with Disney now that they've acquired Fox to make sure that the Deadpool movie is very much true to Ryan Reynolds' original intent, and that's very likely to happen here with The Rock's Black Adam movie. People have been asking, and actually this was something that was really born out of fandom as well. The major push to get The Rock featured on a Black Adam movie, it's always just been so supported by the fans, and it's one of the things that helped it come to light, just like with the Snyderverse. Now, this isn't just theoretical, hypothetical nonsense. According to a small screen article, which is also where we get the Jared Leto news from today, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson has already been talking to the higher-ups at Warner and HBO, etc., about restoring the Snyderverse. Not just bringing in a couple characters for some cameos in the Black Adam movie, but restoring the Snyderverse, giving Zack back the reins over the DCEU. And sure, we had seen Ann Cernoff, and there's been a whole bunch of hit pieces regarding the Snyder Cut. You've probably seen videos on that the past week. But this is all still very much up in the air. So guys, keep at it with the hashtags, keep at it with the fervent support for restoring the Snyderverse if you want to see this come to life. There are celebrities behind it now. Obviously, all of Zack's original cast, Ray Fisher, Henry Cavill, Gal Gadot, etc. But now also Black Adam, aka the Rock, is also supporting it and taking that to the higher up, saying, look, I mean, think about how many years this would expand and throw off the storyline of Black Adam. A lot of what he's probably written and what he has in mind has to do with Zack Snyder's Justice League and those characters. If you were to have a Justice League versus Black Adam movie, you would need to then wait for them to recast all the DC characters, at least as far as the Justice League goes, in order to establish them and then have them go into a movie toe-to-toe with The Rock. It's just not going to happen, and I really see this putting a damper on The Rock's ideas for the Black Adam movie if this thing were to go down. So again, stay steady with the support because it seems like it's working. And speaking of celebrities that support it, we got a new article today discussing how Jared Leto is now in support of restoring the Snyderverse. So we've always known this. He's friends with Zack Snyder, but according to a small screen article, he has now put out a video on Twitter saying restore the Snyderverse, and he's backing it. He obviously was brought in by Snyder himself to do some reshoots, that great iconic post-apocalyptic nightmare scene we got at the end of Snyder Cut was not actually supposed to be in the movie, but he was brought in to do some reshoots. Zack had actually said it would really be a shame if they had done this entire universe if this was the last movie to be made, which I still believe it won't be, and we had never gotten Batman and Joker on screen together. So that was fan service. I feel like so much of what Snyder does is fan service because he is a fan himself. So he's not being true to himself. He's a fan, and a lot of the same things that we want to see is exactly what he wants to see as well. So now with Jared Leto being behind it, the momentum is picking up on this Snyder Cut snowball. And again, in terms of what people want, it really is looking like it's all the fans and maybe even AT&T and HBO Max against the executives at Warner. They have a lot of power, they have a lot of push and a lot of pull. You look around the internet, how many times do you see bring the JJ verse or, destroy the Snyderverse trending? It just doesn't happen. There's just not enough support for any other idea right now. A lot of fans are very happy, and if not happy with what Zack Snyder did, they're at least intrigued to see how he would have finished it, how he would have ended it. I know you guys have already seen the Variety articles. I did a video on that as well, but just where they're talking about how Warner Brothers, like Ann Cernoff and the gang, they were excited to see Zack finish his trilogy, finish his idea. One, we know it wasn't finished. And two, it's disingenuous because you're stealing the credit for what came to be from the fan base, from their passion, from their dedication over the last 4 years to bring this to life. So now Warner's saying, oh yeah, we were going to do it the whole time. Absolutely not. If there wasn't this fervent, fever-pitched fandom support for Zack Snyder's Snyderverse, this would never have happened. So it's just, it comes off as disingenuous, and I think this is some of what a lot of fans have an issue with Warner right now. They really just want to push their own ideas about these heroes, and remember, one of their own ideas was Zack Snyder. Give credit where credit is due. Whoever was in charge at Warner at the time, they brought the Snyderverse to life. They brought Zack on to do a darker version of Superman, Batman, and the Justice League like we've grown to love at this point. And so it was their idea. And that's all that we want to see. The fans didn't create the Snyderverse. We didn't create all this and then try and force it on them. They made it, and people like it, and now they're trying to diverge from that. They're trying to go in another direction, and fans simply aren't having it. So with that being said, it looks like it's working. We've got Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson on our side. We've got Jared Leto on our side. Obviously, the entire cast of the Snyder Cut. Several celebrities have joined in support of Restore the Snyderverse. So keep it up. Godzilla vs. King Kong came out today. We already did a reaction video. It's a nice long video, just initial reactions and thoughts, but I'll also be teaming up with our folks from our sister channel, the Lotta Quente Ledger, to do more coverage on that, some more in-depth videos with Godzilla and King Kong. Fantastic movie. If you haven't seen it, go see it. With that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. As always, be sure to lock it here for more content on Godzilla, on Superman, Supergirl, which just came out, The Flash, all your favorite movies and TV shows. We're covering a ton. So hit the subscribe button, click the bell, like the video if you liked the video, and I will see you in the next one.